Hi. All right. So we're trying to get things up and working. Our Wi-Fi at our house just crashed, but I think we are back up. Fingers crossed. Technology will keep working for us this evening. So let's see. We've got a couple minutes before we officially get started. Um, I'm author Stacy McAnulty coming to you from my house in North Carolina. We're going to try to play some trivia tonight. I've never run trivia in person, and I certainly haven't done it live on YouTube with the help of Google Forms before, so this is new to me. So thanks for playing along. I appreciate that. So we're going to let people join us here. I'm still a little bit early. Um, so again, thanks for coming in. I'm watching the numbers increase on my screen here. You can see the comments over on the side. Feel free to say hi if you want. I'm there in well, to me it looks yellow, but I'm Stacy McAnulty. We have another moderator that's going to be Cora. She's helping out also tonight to get this up and going. This is, we'll see how this goes. We've been working on this for a couple days now. It's because I didn't know what I'm doing, didn't know what I was doing. So when I do anything for the first time, it takes quite a while. So we come up with questions. My 12-year-old had to teach me how to use OSB, something like that, so I can share my screen. So I was homeschooled on Friday on how to make YouTube live work and share my screens. I've gone through these questions a couple times. So lots of learning going on here. So I'm excited to share with you, and fingers crossed the technology holds up for this whole thing. But we will see. We'll find out. I'm sorry, looking. I told my family to text me if I go down, so apologize for looking at my phone. Let's see what time. We got a couple minutes left still. Oh, by the way, again, this is home office. I'm sure most people are home right now. So if you may hear barking, you may hear screaming, like anybody else's house, right? So you never know what you're going to get when it's live. When I do a recorded video, I can of course edit that stuff out, but since we are live, it could be messy, but here's hoping it goes well. And I've got all my questions written down. I'm going to be showing you pictures as we go to help in case the video gets a little bit laggy. Then everything you'll be able to read on your screen. I'm going to go ahead here. And if you didn't have the email or you haven't been to my website, in the comments, I am putting your link to your first Google form. We are going to be using Google Forms to answer. That's the way we're going to be answering. I know. So you're going to want like two windows open. You're going to want to be streaming the questions and me on one, and then you'll have Google Forms open on the other. We couldn't think of an easier way to do it. We don't want to put answers in the comments because that gives it away. So we needed some place to do answer forms. So we thought Google Forms would work best. So that's what we're going to try. I put the link there. It was also in the email. If you signed up with bookmarks, it was in there. Also, all the links are going to be on my website, stacymcAnulty.com. You have to be able to spell my name right, but it's stacymcAnulty.com, and you'll have the link back to YouTube. If we get dropped, it will have links to all three forms. So that's how you can, all five forms. Yes, we're playing 5 rounds of incredibly difficult Kidlit trivia, 8 questions each round. When this is done in person, when bookmarks, I've got my shirt on, my independent bookstore, when Caleb runs book trivia in person, it takes a little over an hour. We'll see how this goes. It's super fun when we go and play live in the bookstore because you're chatting with your friends and ordering from the bar next door. It's a lot of fun. We like going, the teenagers and my husband and I, or I've gone with friends too. It's a lot of fun. So we're trying to duplicate that fun here, but we'll see how it goes. So I'm looking at the time at 7:01. I know people are still going to be coming in, but I want to get started because, like I said, it might take a good hour to get through this. So I'm gonna go start going over the rules, how we're going to play. So these are the instructions. Again, it's going to be best played on a PC, on a computer. Also might be helpful, like me, to have a pad of paper nearby in case you need to jot something down and don't want to type it up. All your answers are going to be submitted by that Google form. That's the link is, again, over in the comments, or you can get it at stacymcAnulty.com. So we are going to have, there's 5 rounds. Each has its own link. They will open and close as we are in those rounds, so you don't accidentally put your answers on form 5 when it should have been on form 1. So we'll, my moderators will help me with that. Let's see. Do not put your answers in the comments. You're gonna be giving everybody the answer. Anybody can see that. So put your answers only on your Google form. Save the comments for saying hi or asking for clarification on something. And again, I'll try to hit those comments if they don't move too quickly. We're using the honor system here. Please don't Google answers. Please don't ask your home devices for answers. So honor system, it's easy to cheat from home, but let's not do that. Set a good example for the kids because they may be taking tests at home at the end of this year. So let's set a good example and not cheat. In each time you fill out a Google form, I'm going to need your email. And I am going to need a player name or a team name. Keep those the same on all 5 forms because my moderator, my daughters, and my husband, they're collecting this data and they're going to put it in a spreadsheet and they're going to do something called a pivot table and they're going to do that around your emails. If you're changing emails, we're going to lose it. So don't do that. Use the same email and use the same team name or player name. That's what we're going to use to post the scores. So when you hear scores, they are based on team name and player name. For your answers, to kind of simplify this, please try to keep your answers only in lowercase. Don't use any capitalization, and you don't need punctuation for any of the answers. We're using Google Forms as a quiz, so it's going to grade you as soon as you submit. And to make this easier, it's nice to have it all in lowercase. So then we don't have to worry about matching the case because it turns out you get the answer wrong if you don't match the case. So lowercase is the way to go. Don't worry about punctuation, including things like apostrophes. Sometimes we'll get them right, but if you just leave them out, that's your most likely way to get a question right. The Google Forms will make a mistake. Like I said, it's going to autocorrect, give you an automatic score. It's going to make a mistake. My daughters are standing by to fix those mistakes. So each form of the 50 or so people playing, they're going to manually go through them. If an answer is marked wrong because of a spelling mistake, they can change it to right. They can add a point. It still may be marked wrong, but you will get the point for it. So don't freak out. However, there's going to be mistakes. We are people. This is technology. We're doing the best we can. So I apologize if there is mistakes with the Google form. Fingers crossed it goes fairly smoothly. But again, first time, it's being run by me and my family. So here's hoping for the best. The winner of the whole game is going to be the highest cumulative score, all 5 rounds. There's a tiebreaker at the end of the 5th round in case we have a tie. We're going to try to give out prizes for each round, a random winner. So if you come in late or you miss a round, something like that, we're going to still try to do a random prize no matter what questions you get right on each round. And that's going to be a book sent by me. The grand prize winner is going to have a book sent by Bookmarks, the bookstore that is sponsoring this tonight. So you will get a grand prize of a box of books from them. Okay, I know that was a lot. I think once we go through one of these, you'll see it's not too bad. I've been through it, practiced with my family a couple times, and I think it's going to be great. I'm very excited. So shall we begin? We ready? Some thumbs up? Let's do this. Round 1. Here we go. I'm going to pop off and your questions are going to come up. It's going to be 8 questions per round. Each you're going to see the same type of questions over and over. Round 1. Here we go. All right, this is your cover question. You have to tell me for this. I want to know the title of this book and the author's last name. You will see we have photoshopped out the title and the author's name, so you're going to fill it in on the Google form. I want the title and the author's last name. That's what we're looking for. It's going to go in your Google form under question 1, title, and under question 1, author's last name. That is number 1. Give you about 5 more seconds on that. How's it going out there? I don't see any comments. I'm hoping the comments are still working. If not, I don't know how to fix it. But I can see stuff I have written. I haven't seen anybody else write anything new in the comments. All right. We are going on to number 2 here. Question 2. All question 2s are going to be first lines. So the first line here is, where's Papa going with that axe? Where's Papa going with that axe? And here I would like the title. Again, you don't need the apostrophe. And the author's name. So I'm looking for the title and the author's name. And we don't need an apostrophe in that title. Is that too much of a hint? So, where's Papa going with that axe? We ready for the next one? The next one is, this question 3 is always going to be an author photo. So here is your first author photo. And for this one, I want to know this guy's pen name and I want to know this guy's real name. What's his pen name and what's his real name? For his real name, I do want first and last name here. Again, we're not capitalizing anything. So I want his first and last name and his pen name. And make sure you read that Google form for which one is which. It's right on there. I'm moving on to the next question. Hopefully the speed's okay. Question 4. This is going to be our graphic novel category. This book tells the story of Jordan Banks, a black student who experiences culture shock when he enrolls at a private school. It's the first graphic novel to win the Newbery Medal, and it just so happened this year. So in this one, I am looking for the title and the creator's last name. So the title and the creator's last name. This book tells the story of Jordan Banks, a black student who experiences culture shock when he enrolls at a private school. It's the first graphic novel to win the Newbery Medal, and it just happened this year. So we want the title and the the creator's last name on this one. Next question. This is our picture book category. I am a picture book author myself, so of course I love this category. Here is your question. The first in a series, this 2005 picture book stars a camelid who in future titles has issues with his mama and experiences holiday drama. Sadly, the creator passed away in 2016. So this is a picture book. And for this one, I would like the title and the creator's last name. The first in a series, this 2005 picture book stars a camelid who in future titles has issues with his mama and experiences holiday drama. Sadly, the creator passed away in 2016. So again, the title, all lowercase, the creator's last name, all lowercase. That's what we're looking for with question 5 here. And I might as well just go ahead and apologize for all the typos and mispronunciations that I will be doing all night long. This YA novel about accidentally mailed love letters was made into a Netflix film in 2018. The film sequel, P.S. I Still Love You, just released this year. For this one, I would like the title and the author's last name. And again, with the title, don't worry about apostrophes. So this one, it is, this YA novel about accidentally mailed love letters was made into a Netflix film in 2018. The film sequel, P.S. I Still Love You, just released this year. So title, all lowercase, and the author's last name, please. That's what's going to go on your Google form. We'll give you a couple seconds on that one. We'll see. Give a couple more seconds, and let's go on to question 7. This is our characters question. So for each time we get to question 7, you're going to get a list of characters. And for this one, it's Odella, Hope, Roman, and Jacqueline. And your hint here is it's a memoir in verse. Odella, Hope, Roman, and Jacqueline. Odella goes by Dell, I believe. So Odella, Hope, Roman, and Jacqueline. For this, I would like the title and the author's last name. That's what we're putting on the Google form, is the title and the author's last name. Odella, Hope, Roman, and Jacqueline are the main characters, the most prevalent characters in this book. And then the final question in round 1, the last question each round, is going to be the emoji question. So you need to guess the title from the emojis. Here, this is a picture book. I'm looking for a picture book. I would like the title and the creator's last name. It's a picture book, and I'm looking for the title and the creator's last name. All right, that is the last question in round 1. How's it going out there? I'm going to give you a couple minutes now to get those final answers into your Google form and then submit it. After you submit, you can ask to see your score. You'll get your score. Again, it could be wrong. The score could be wrong. We have people that are going to go through and check that for you, try to make things right. And but again, we could have some mistakes, so we appreciate you being kind to us about all this. So we'll try to get it as correct as possible. And after they get the final scores, when we're in probably in round 2, we'll get some updates on who is leading Kidlit Trivia Live. All right, so I'm going to come back on the screen here as you fill in your answers. And as you're filling those in, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about Bookmarks, who is sponsoring tonight. Again, I'm wearing the shirt. So Bookmarks is a literary arts nonprofit organization and independent bookstore located in downtown Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Since their first festival in 2004, they have been bringing award-winning and best-selling authors from around the world each year to area schools, community groups, the annual festival, which is the largest annual festival in North or South Carolina. The nonprofit bookstore is opened in 2017 and offers weekly book club meetings, story time, and events for all ages. So yeah, I think Bookmarks is really cool because, one, it started as a festival and then became a bookstore, which I don't know of that happening in other places. That's pretty cool. And they're also a non-profit, which is awesome. They're really interested in putting authors in front of kids, getting a community reading. They're very supportive of authors. My local store, I rely on them so much. And if you're looking for places to order books during this time and want to get away from Amazon, who's postponing books anyway, they're not shipping them or shipping them slowly, check out local independent bookstores. Of course, mine is Bookmarks, and they can hook you up, man. And I think it's a $25 minimum, and you get free shipping. So check that out. Okay, I'm going to call this round closed. I'm going to give you like 10 seconds here to hit submit, get those scores in. Even if you didn't answer everything, get those scores in. There was 3 things on your Google form that had to be answered. You had to have the email, the team name, and you have to check that box that promised you weren't cheating. And then you could hit submit. So if you have some blanks, that's totally okay. We can live with that. You're not going to get them right, all right. Well, maybe some people will. You're not meant to get them all right. And so let's get those submitted. I'm waiting to hear from my moderator that we're going to close down. I'll give you 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, One moderator, if you could close down Google Form number 1, that would be great. And I apologize if I am buffering. That's, technology, if it's slow, we're doing the best we can with what we got, right? We all are in kind of the same boat, I guess. I am going to get your Google Form number 2, round 2 up, so you can get that when that should open any minute now. Getting that set for you guys. I've got that over there, and that will be opened up. But how about we go over the answers? Let's see what our answers were for round 1. Answers for round 1 coming up here. Here we go. Answers for round 1. The first one, this, of course, is The One and Only Ivan by Catherine Applegate. Of course, you've probably heard there's a sequel to this book coming out. I don't know if it's later this year or next year, but there is a sequel coming for this book. The first line, where's Papa going with that axe? Where's Papa going with that axe? That is, of course, Charlotte's Web by E.B. White. Next question. Our author picture, this is Dr. Seuss. And his real name is Theodore Geisel. We're looking for Theodore Geisel with Dr. Seuss. The graphic novel, this book tells the story of Jordan Banks, a black student who experiences cultural shock when he enrolls at a private school. It's the first graphic novel to win the Newbery Medal, and it just happened this year. That is New Kid. An excellent book. I believe it's now in paper. Well, it was in paperback, but an excellent book to pick up. Picture book, the first in a series. This 2005 picture book stars a camelid who, in future titles, has issues with his mama and experiences holiday drama. And that is a Llama Llama Red Pajama. Llama Llama Red Pajama, which is a favorite in our house. We actually have a stuffed llama from this book. Question 6. Book was better. This YA novel about accidentally mailed love letters was made into a Netflix film in 2018. The film sequel, P.S. I Still Love You, just released this year. And we are looking for To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. Question 7. The characters Odella, Hope, Roman, and Jacqueline are from Brown Girl Dreaming by Jacqueline Woodson. And then your final question was, what is this? What are these emojis? And that is Hello Lighthouse. Hello Lighthouse. And that is by Sophie Blackall. And that was a Caldecott medalist from 2019. All right. That's round 1 is in the books. How'd it go? Was it okay? Okay. We are going to move on to round 2. Cora's going to give us some scores. Is Google Form open? Are we ready? Is the Google Form open? Family, is the Google Form open? I will bring up round 2. All right. Round 2. Here we go. Sorry for the tiny pause there. Remember, as we are doing this, that you're playing on the Google form. Don't put your answers in the comments. Use the same email and team name or player name. We're doing lowercase here, and you don't need punctuation. That's about it. We're using the honor system. Don't cheat. Ready? Here we go. Here's your cover. Here is your cover. And this one, I am looking for the title. Leave out the punctuation. All lowercase, and the author's last name, and we're going to be weird here. We're going to ask for the illustrator's first name. It's a tough name to spell, so we thought we'd make it easier. We're going to take the illustrator's first name. So I want the title, the author's last name, and the illustrator's first name. That's what we are looking for with this one. Author's last name, illustrator's first name, and the title. Put that on your Google form. Alrighty. Such a great classic book we've got right there. Nice. Okay, I am moving on. Our first line category. Question 2. I know I'm not an ordinary 10-year-old kid. I mean, sure, I do ordinary things. I eat ice cream. I ride my bike. I play ball. I have an Xbox. Stuff like that makes me ordinary, I guess. And I feel ordinary inside. But I know ordinary kids don't make other ordinary kids run away screaming in playgrounds. That was our first line. Here we are looking for the title and the author's last name. I'm looking for the title and the author's last name. At the first line, I know I'm not an ordinary 10-year-old kid. I mean, sure, I do ordinary things. I eat ice cream. I ride my bike. I play ball. I have an Xbox. Stuff like that makes me ordinary, I guess, and I feel ordinary inside. But I know ordinary kids don't make other ordinary kids run away screaming in playgrounds. Okay, and I'd like the title and the author's last name. Question 3. Here's your author picture. A little hint about her. Her debut has been on the New York Times bestseller list for 159 weeks. Whoa, right? That's a lot. So her debut has been on the New York Times list for 159 weeks. I would just like her last name, please. Put your last name on your Google form. All right. Give you a couple more seconds to get that last name in there. And then we are moving on. Here is our graphic novel question for round 2. This autobiographical book about growing up in a family grappling with addiction and finding the art that helps you survive was a National Book Award finalist. So graphic novel here. We would like the title. And again, we're going to do the creator's first name. It's another difficult last name to spell. So the creator's first name. This autobiographical book about growing up in a family grappling with addiction and finding the art that helps you survive was a National Book Award finalist. So we're looking for the title and the author, the creator's first name. So a graphic novel here. And I'm getting word from the moderators that we are getting close to having round 1 scores ready. Round 1 scores are coming here in just a little bit. All right. Let's go on to question 5. This one's a picture book. The New York Public Library recently said this wintry picture book was the most checked out book in its history. Wow. So this one, we're looking for the title and the creator's full name. I'll give you a hint. He's got 3 names. So we're looking for the title and the creator's full name, all 3 of them. So it's a picture book. And the New York Public Library recently said this wintry picture book was the most checked out book in its history. The most checked out book in its history. They listed the top 10 books being checked out, and most of them were children's books, of course, so that was pretty awesome. But this was number 1. So what is it? I'd like the title and the full author's name. All right, going on. Question 6. The book was better. This highly illustrated novel starring a boy and his polar bear was recently released as a Disney Plus movie. Now, I can tell you, I think these books are hysterical, but I have yet to see the movies myself. I am hoping, I guess during all this downtime, that maybe I'll get a chance to check it out. But what I'm looking for here is the series name, not a book, but the whole series name and the creator's last name. And a hint, the series name is the title character's name. So I'm looking for the series name and the creator's last name. It's this highly illustrated novel starring a boy and his polar bear was recently released as a Disney Plus movie. So we want the series and the author's last name. That's what we're looking for. Question 7. Our characters. So the characters for this one are Bronwyn, Cooper, Addie, Nate, and Simon. Bronwyn, Cooper, Addie, Nate, and Simon. These our characters are from a YA mystery. So on this one, I would like the title and the author's last name. The title and the author's last name. Bronwyn, Cooper, Addie, Nate, and Simon. So let's get those entered into our Google Forms. Are they in there? Are we ready to move on? Next, I have our emoji one, our emoji question. These were fun to come up with. So in this one, we want the title and the author's last name. Title and the author's last name. Title of the book. Your hint is that it is a young adult novel. Young adult contemporary novel. So title and author's last name. That's what we're looking for on this one. All right, let's get all those scores in. Not scores. Let's get all our answers in there, and we'll get some scores. So, give you a couple more seconds on that. Okay. And all right, so I am not seeing comments on my screen. My moderators are seeing comments, so they will relay things to me. So I'm sorry about that. I don't know why my comments are hidden on me. Let's see if I can get some of those back up. But I apologize. I am not seeing, if you're sending comments to me, they are not coming through into my office. Alrighty, guys, let's go back. It's me. I'm back. I'm here. So we're going to give you a couple more minutes to get those final answers in. Give you about 30 more seconds to get your answers in. I'll take this time to advertise me. I write picture books and novels. I'll talk about the novels first, of course. So I wrote The Miscalculations of Lightning Girl. This was my first novel. Not the first one I ever wrote, though. This was actually the 7th completed novel I wrote. I wrote 6 novels before this. So it was very exciting when this came out in 2018. The World Ends in April is my book that came out in September of 2019. Now, I know, scary title, right? The World Ends in April. It doesn't. I am not some kind of prophet. The world is not going to end. It's just the way I made my school year in this book. So it's kind of a scary title now, but the world isn't going to end. And in this case, it wasn't a pandemic. It was an asteroid that's going to take everybody down. But so those are some of my novels. I'm waiting to hear. I guess we're buffering a little bit according to the family. Apologies about that. But we'll catch up. I am going to ask that the forms be closed here in about 30 seconds. Can we do the last 30 seconds? And get those forms in. And moderators, since I am not seeing the scores, I'm going to need you to write those down and slip them under my office door. Let me know what's going on out there since I can't see the comments. I would like to know who's winning. I want to know what the scores are, how we're doing. So moderators, help me out here because I can't get the scores by the chat. So if we can close down form number 2, and we are going to go on to 3. We're going to go on to round 3 here, guys. And there is our round 3. Let me get you guys the link. Getting the link here for form 3. Again, they are on my website and in the email. I assume you are seeing my comments. And that is up there. There is your form. And here we go on to round 3. Remember that we are putting things in a lowercase. We're not using punctuation. We are not cheating. And we are using the Google form. So form 3 is now open. Here is your cover on this. I would like the title and the author's last name. Title and the author's last name. So we're looking for the title and the author's last name. All right. Ooh, I'm seeing chats. I had some technology help here. Yay. So hopefully that stays up. Form is not working. Let's see. Here is the form again for number 3. I apologize for that. And we have our cover. And that was, we wanted the title and the author's last name. All right, on to first line. First line here was, he was born on an island far away where imaginary friends were created. He was born on an island far away where imaginary friends were created. And for this one, I'm going to be kind here. I'm going to ask for a 1-word answer. The title has a longer name, but it's kind of known by this one word. So we'll use the 1 word, and I want the creator's last name. So if you want to put in the really long title, go for it. But 1 word is going to suffice for this one, and the creator's last name. So again, it was, he was born on an island far away where imaginary friends were created. So go ahead and get that on your Google form. The truncated 1-word title and the it's author illustrator, the creator's last name. Moving on. Author picture time. So this is a North Carolina author, like me, who is known for writing about history, mostly World War II and baseball, though he also writes other genres as well. If we've got any North Carolina kiddos out there, I bet this guy has visited your school, if you're in the right age group. So this is a North Carolina author. I'm looking for his last name on your answer sheet. We're going to put up just the last name on the answer sheet. Remember, we don't have to capitalize. It just makes the scoring a little bit easier. Yes, and he did recently visit Bookmarks. Have we put up our leaderboard yet, moderators? Are we getting ready to put up some scores here to see how we're doing? That's happening in the kitchen. I'm in the office, so I don't know what's happening out there. We will see what we get for the scores. Next question. We're going to leave our author now and move on to our graphic novel category. Graphic novel, question 4. This Newbery Honor book stars Astrid, who goes by Asteroid in bouts. Over the summer, she learns about jamming, blocking, and friendship. This Newbery Honor book stars Astrid, who goes by Asteroid in bouts. Over the summer, she learns about jamming, blocking, and friendship. For this one, we're looking for the book's title and the creator's last name. The book's title and the creator's last name. Of course, we're in the graphic novel category, so it's a graphic novel. And it stars Astrid, who goes by Asteroid. And over the summer, she learns about jamming, blocking, and friendship. Graphic novel. All right, give you a couple more seconds to get those answers in there. And we'll move on to picture books. Question 5, the picture book category. This Mexican-born author-illustrator tells her own immigration story in this 2018 picture book tribute to the transformative power of hope, dreams, and reading. This Mexican-born author-illustrator tells her own immigration story in this 2018 picture book tribute to the transformative power of hope, dreams, and reading. Now this one, we want the title and the creator's last name. Title and the creator's last name. It's a beautiful, beautiful picture book. This Mexican-born author-illustrator tells her own immigration story in this 2018 picture book tribute to the transformative power of hope, dreams, and reading. And of course, I apologize again for typos. Moving on to question 6. The book was better. In this Netflix series, Neil Patrick Harris stars as the villain Count Olaf, doing whatever it takes to steal the Baudelaire orphan's fortune. The book was better. In this Netflix series, Neil Patrick Harris stars as the villain Count Olaf, doing whatever it takes to steal the Baudelaire orphan's fortune. For this one, we are looking for the series name and the pen name of the author. So not an individual book, but the series name and the pen name of the author. That's what we would like in this one. So this is on your Google form, series name and pen name of the author. And I believe we're looking for first and last name on that pen name because it's kind of an iconic pen name. Netflix series starring Neil Patrick Harris as Count Olaf. I've been told to slow down. Try and give it some time. I've also heard that we may have a leaderboard up here somewhere, but I missed it. All right, I see it now. Here we go. So Bookaholic Teacher 13 and Jamie 13 and Team Pendleton. Oh, those are the scores. Bookaholic Teacher had 13, Jamie 13, Team Pendleton and 13, and the Bryan clan 13. All right, so is that the top scores? 13? Oh, that's third place. Second place, The Book Pusher 14 and Sherry Sawyer 14. And where's number 1? Number 1, P&G Rocking Readers had 15. Oh my goodness, off to a great start there. Oh, I can't wait to see where this goes. Okay, question 7. Question 7, the character question. Here we have Mom, Dad, Jasper Rabbit, and some scary root vegetables. A hint, though you might have already guessed this, it's a picture book. So we have Mom, Dad, Jasper Rabbit, and some scary root vegetables. This one, we've got 3 answers, so I'll give you a little bit of time on this one. I want the title. I want the author's last name and the illustrator's last name. So this was a teamwork book. We have an author and an illustrator on it, so I want both of them. So title, author's last name, and illustrator's last name. Oh, I know, it's giving you more to type here, but we want to make sure we include all the creators on these awesome books. Mom, Dad, Jasper Rabbit, and some scary root vegetables. So what picture book is this? And who wrote it? And who illustrated it? And I believe this author-illustrator team has gotten together a couple times now. All right. I'm going to give you a couple more seconds on the scary root vegetables. Now we've got some ranks coming in. First place, Sherry Sawyers with 27. Way to go, Sherry. And if I'm saying your name wrong, I apologize. Bookaholic Teacher, 26. And do we have any more scores coming in? They're coming. Here we go. And I will move on to the next question so you can start working on that. Oh, P&G Rocking Readers. I'm going to give you question 8 here, which of course is your emojis. Here is your emojis. I'm looking for a title on this and the author's last name. It's a middle grade book. So I would like the title and the author's last name. That was the rank after 2 rounds that were just posted by Cora. So in this one, check out the picture, and then we would like the title and the author's last name. Remember, we're not using capitals. It just makes the scoring a little bit easier for our Google Forms. So we'll let you guys wrap up round 3, get all those in there. I'm going to pop back on the screen here, so take a last look at your emojis. Last look at the emojis, and I'm going to come back on here. I'm back. I know, I think when I'm live, it seems a little bit laggier. We drop things than when we have just the screen. But I am back on. We'll let you get those final answers into Google Form number 3 before we go over answers and before we get Google Form 4 up and going. I showed you some of my novels. Like I said, I also do picture books. I just grabbed a couple of them here before we started. We've got Max Explains Everything, and Moon, and Earth. There's also Sun that goes along with that. So I love writing science-y picture books, and I also write funny picture books. You can, if you're interested, I don't want to sound like an ad totally, but Bookmarks, it's very, my local indie, and they carry those books, and most of them I have autographs, so there's autographs in those. So they support me, and they carry a lot of my books if you're looking to get any. Also, when you have a chance, you could subscribe to this YouTube channel. You can like this YouTube channel. And I've read some of these books, like Max Explains Everything is on there, so you can hear a reading of it. I also have a book, Brave, up there. So, and I'm going to, as we do this, this shelter in place thing we're going through, I'm going to put up more readings. I'm going to put up more school visits so I can keep connecting with young readers. So keep in touch with this YouTube channel for all the latest information. Alrighty, so I think we're going to have to close down our Google form. Are we ready to close that, moderator? I'll give you, go ahead and close that for me, and then I will go over answers. So punch that, submit your answer so you get some score. And we will look at our answers for round 3. Here they come. Answers for round 3. This is our round 3 answers. All right. So this book, this photoshopped cover is Ghost by Jason Reynolds. Ghost by Jason Reynolds. I did do the, Sam asked, did I do the answers for round 2? I think I did. So this one is Ghost. Let me know if I missed round 2 answers. So round 2, I didn't do round 2 answers? I did do them. Okay, Bookmarks is saying yes, they're... Okay, I'm going to go through round 3 answers here. So we just did round 3. This is Jason Reynolds' Ghost. First line, he was born on an island far away where imaginary friends were created. And this is Beagle. Well, again, we're going for the truncated answer. The full title is The Adventures of Beagle, the Unimaginary Friend by Dan Santat. But we're taking Beagle to make it easier on you. This author is Alan Gratz, a North Carolina author known for Refugee among his many, 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 many awesome books. Graphic novel. This Newbery Honor book, This Newbery Honor book stars Astrid, who goes by Asteroid in bouts. Over the summer, she learns about jamming, blocking, and friendship, and that is Roller Girl. Okay, I will go over round 2 answers. I'm sorry. See, I need people to keep me honest. Question 5, picture book. This Mexican-born author illustrator tells her own immigration story in this 2018 picture book tribute to the transformative power of hope, dreams, and reading. And that is Dreamers by Gigi Morales. Question 6, book was better. In this Netflix series, Neil Patrick Harris stars as the villain Count Olaf, doing whatever it takes to steal the Baudelaire orphan's fortune. And that is, of course, the series, or a series of unfortunate events. And that is by Lemony Snicket. Your characters: mom, dad, Jasper Rabbit, and some scary root vegetables. We're going for Creepy Carrots by Aaron Reynolds and Peter Brown. Aaron Reynolds and Peter Brown. And the emoji, this is Spy School by Stuart Gibbs. Spy School by Stuart Gibbs. All right, so it sounds like I missed round 2 answers, so I will go through those quickly. Round 2 answers coming for you right up. Sorry about that. All right, so this one was Goodnight Construction Site. Goodnight Construction Site by Sherry Dusky Rinker and Tom Lichtenheld. The I Know I'm Not an Ordinary 10-Year-Old Kid line is from Wonder by R.J. Palicio. And again, I could be saying every name wrong. I'm known to do that. This is a picture of Angie Thomas, who of course wrote The Hate You Give. The graphic novel, this autobiographical book about growing up in a family grappling with addiction and finding the art that helps you survive, was a National Book Award finalist, is Hey Kiddo. Hey Kiddo by Jarrett Krasaska. He has a little video on how to say his name, and I had to think of it, but Jarrett Krasowska. Picture book, question 5. The New York Public Library recently said this Winnery picture book was the most checked out book in its history. That is The Snowy Day by Ezra Jack Keats. The book was better. This highly illustrated novel starring a boy and his polar bear was recently released as a Disney Plus movie. And I love the book, but I haven't seen the movie. That is Timmy Failure by Stephen Pastis. Maybe it says Stephen. I'm not sure how to say that. And these characters, Bronwyn, Cooper, Addie, Nate, and Simon, are from One of Us is Lying by Karen McManus. And she actually has a shirt with those characters written on it. That's how we got the idea for this category. We met her at an event and she had it. This one, of course, is Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. So, sorry about going out of order there, guys. Sorry about that mix-up. I think I was trying to get my comments up, and I forgot to give you guys the answer. But I think we're all caught up now. We are going on to round 4. If we could get Google Form 4 open, Cora and family. Here is the link. Here is the link for the next one. I am going to round 4. And here we go. Our first one, cover. Reminder that we are putting our answers on the Google form, not in the comments. We are using a lowercase. We're not worried about punctuation. And we're not cheating. Those were basically our rules. So we, for this one, I'm going to do the truncated title again. So it's got a longer title, but just the one-word title, the big words that would be there if this wasn't photoshopped. So the truncated title on this one and the creator's last name. So that's what we are looking for on this book. The title, just one word will do, and the creator's last name. Next one. First line. When it's your turn in the chair, you stand at attention and forget about who you were when you walked through that door. This one is another long one because we're going to be asking for the title. We'll take the truncated word again. So just the one word, the big word that's on that cover there, the truncated word. We'll truncate down to one word. I want the author's last name and the illustrator's last name. So I'm kind of giving it away there by saying I want an author and illustrator. When it's your turn in the chair, you stand at attention and forget about who you were when you walked through the door. So author's last name, illustrator's last name, and the title of this brilliant book. And again, I'll take one word to keep it simple. So get those answers in. I'll give you a couple more seconds on this one because it is a three-parter. I think we have a couple three-parters. They're getting harder, man. We're in round 4. I'm going to make you work for it. And then we should get an updated score here. Moderator Cora, if you can pick some random winners. Also, maybe you could bring those in for me too. And we can get some random winners. Question 3. So this is your author. This one's a celebrity author who is actually very supportive of the Kidlit community. And in this one, I want the first and last name. So we want this children's book author. She actually gets involved with the Kidlit community. Not all celebrity authors do that. They just kind of throw their book out in the world. But she's actually quite responsive and vocal with Kidlit books and supporting Kidlit books. Oh no, I think we had someone join and they may have started at the beginning of the live broadcast. Uh-oh. You can still play along. We're giving out random prizes too. So we're looking for the first and last name of this celebrity author. Alrighty. Give you a couple more seconds there. This one seems obvious to me, but I showed my kids and they're like, I don't know who that is. Question 4, the graphic novel category. Sebastian and Francis's royal romantic tale of identity, young love, art, and family is being made into a movie musical. This LGBTQ graphic novel was an Eisner Award winner. So it's Sebastian and Francis's royal romantic tale of identity, young love, art, and family. And it is going to be made into a movie musical. And for this one, we are looking for the title and the... Sorry, I'm looking for the title and the author's last name. All right. We have some random winners here. They're chosen by Google, random number generator. Oh, I see we're doing ranks right now, so I'll hold off on the random winners. And I'll leave the graphic novel up there. We've got, after 3 rounds, Sherry is still in first place with 41. Shari Sawyers has 41. Woohoo! Good job. And let's see how close second place is. Bookaholic Teacher is 36. That's not too far off. Good job, Bookaholic. Okay, Sherry rhymes with Barry. Okay, got it. And third is P&G Rocking Readers with 33. So our board is getting pretty consistent here. We'll see how these last couple go, and I will give you some random winners in a second here. All right, let's give our next question. This is our picture book. This 2007 book was the first in the Questionnaire series, but its follow-up, Rosie Revere Engineer, was the breakout star. So in this one, I'm looking for the title of that first book in this series and the author's last name and the illustrator's last name. So this 2007 book was the first in the Questionnaire series, but its follow-up, Rosie Revere Engineer, was the breakout star. So the first one didn't hit New York Times bestseller list. Rosie Revere Engineer did, but now it's received lots of love since. So the first one in the Questionnaire series. And we want, again, the title, the author's last name, and the illustrator's last name. All right, so random prizes. We have 3. So we're gonna go with Crazy Daisies. Crazy Daisies, congratulations! You win a book coming from me. You can send me an email, or I will get your email after this. And the Bryan Clan, I know who you guys are, as another random winner. And then the Southern Border. The Southern Border was our 3rd random winner. So congratulations, guys. I will send emails later, and we will get books out to you hopefully this week. Those books are going to be coming from me, so I will send those books. That's not the top prize. We are still playing for first place. Okay, question 6. The book was better. In this 2009 movie, an adventurous 11-year-old girl finds another world that is a strangely idealized version of her frustrating home, but it has sinister secrets, including the nightmare-inducing button eyes. That was a hard one to say. I copy-pasted a lot of this, but still hard to say. In this 2009 movie, an adventurous 11-year-old girl finds another world that is a strangely idealized version of her frustrating home, but it has sinister secrets, including those nightmare-inducing button eyes. So on this one, we are looking for the title and the author's full name. The author's quite a big shot author, so we'll go ahead and ask for the full name for this one. So title and author's full name for question 6. Question 6. So I finally got one. Yay! They get harder. I know. They get harder. I guess I'm seeing... I'm getting some notices from Google that I'm having buffering issues, so I hope everybody is still there. I apologize for that. They said they're not getting enough information. On this one, let's move on to question 7. That's our character list. So this one we have Monty, Percy, and Felicity. Now, I'm looking for the title here and the author's last name. Your hint is it's a YA historical fiction or a YA LGBTQ book, if it's both of those categories. There's actually a sequel to this book that has come out that they also star in, but I'm looking for the original. So we want Monty, Percy, and Felicity's first book. It's a YA historical fiction or a YA. It's also a YA LGBTQ book. So if we can get the title and the author's last name. So we'll give you a couple seconds on that one. So I know some of these questions I know are maybe a bit challenging. Like I said, I had originally wrote these for North Carolina Reading Association teachers. So I imagined groups of teachers, reading specialists playing together. So the questions are a little bit more challenging, but hopefully they're challenging for everyone. I know sometimes when I go to Bookmarks and play the literary trivia, some people are getting them all right, but I certainly don't. And your last one for round 4, here's your emojis. And this one, your hint is it's a YA bestseller. So we want the title and the author's last name. The title and the author's last name on this one. This is one of my favorite emojis. I like this one. So it's a YA bestseller. It debuted on New York Times bestseller list. It was a pretty big book. So it's a very good book too. All right, we'll let you finish those up. And that's the end of round 4. I'll come back. I want to get some kind of answer in there so you can submit it and get some points. I know they might be a little bit more challenging than maybe you were hoping for, but maybe you learned about some new books too. Some good books. I haven't read all these books. I've read a lot of them, and being in the industry, of course, I get a chance to get to know a bunch. So I'm lucky that way, that this is kind of my world, and I love it, of course. So, and if you're ever looking for book recommendations, reach out to me on Twitter. I'll help you out. Also, Bookmarks they've been doing some live streams where they are recommending books for you. So you could say, I liked such and such a book, and they'll help find something else, which is really cool because I love getting recommendations for books. That's how I get most of mine, is when people read things and they're like, and they tell me that I must pick them up. Oh man, somebody's saying that was the hardest round. Wait till you get to round 5, guys. Oh, don't hang up on me. We're almost there. We're almost there. Okay, so let's go ahead and close that form in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alrighty. If we could get that closed, moderator, I'm going to go. I'm not going to forget to do the answers this time, guys. I'm going to get your answers coming for you. Let's see. Okay, I'm scrolling down here. That was round 4. Here are our answers. Is that form closed? Not that you guys would cheat. I trust you. I'm moving on. Answers. Okay, this book is Alma and How She Got Her Name by Juana Martinez Neal. Alma and How She Got Her Name by Juana Martinez Neal. Excellent book. First line, when it's your turn in the chair, you stand at attention and forget about who you were when you walked through that door. And that is Crown, an ode to the fresh cut by Derek Barnes and Gordon C. James. 2 more North Carolina creators right here for you. I believe they live near Charlotte. So another excellent book. Look at all the stickers on there. You can see that book is well received. And I believe these guys have another project together coming out in the next year or 2. This, of course, is Chelsea Clinton. She writes some picture books out there, and I sent her one of my books, and she wrote a card back thanking me for it. I think I sent her Beautiful, so that was sweet. And I know she's very connected, does a lot with John Shu, so she is a part of our Kidlit community. Graphic novel. Sebastian and Francis's royal romantic tale of identity, young love, art, and family is being made into a movie musical. This LGBTQ graphic novel was an Eisner Award winner. This one is The Prince and the Dressmaker by Jen Wang. It is a beautiful book. It is so fun. I think I read it in 2 nights. My middle daughter, who's 16, read it in 1 night. We loved it. I can't remember who's doing the musical of it. I think a Disney group that recently did Frozen or something. Don't quote me on that. I'm probably wrong. But they're making it into a movie musical, so that'll be awesome. Picture book. This 2007 book was the first in the Questionnaire series, but its follow-up, Rosie Rivera Engineer, was the breakout star. The first was Iggy Peck Architect. That was the first in here. Then we get Ada Twist Scientist. So Iggy was, interestingly enough, did not make the New York Times bestseller. Once Rosie Rivera did, then the whole series got this kind of like lightning to it. Now they have the picture books. I believe there's some chapter book series. They're all over the place. They are excellent STEM-loving books for you right there. Question 6. The book was better. In this 2009 movie, an adventurous 11-year-old girl finds another world that is a strangely idealized version of her frustrating home, but it has sinister secrets, including the nightmare-inducing button eyes. That is Coraline by Neil Gaiman. I've recently bought this book, but honestly, I haven't read it. And when my kids tried to watch it when they were little, they turned it off. So I'm going to add that to my quarantine reading list for sure. The characters, Monty, Percy, and Felicity. This is my middle daughter Lily's favorite book in the whole world, and that is The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. There is a sequel to it. It's a lady's guide to something I can't remember, but it is, I haven't read the second one, but the first one is great. And your emoji one. This was my favorite emoji one. And it is Children of Blood and Bone by Tommy Adeyemi. I tried to learn how to say her name, and I apologize because I'm sure I didn't do it right. But this was a instant #1 New York Times bestseller, and I believe the second book is out now. Another excellent book for you there. All right. Put that back at the front. And I'm back. All right, so how are we doing? Cora's gonna correct those answers, go through those scores, Cora and Lily, and we're gonna get ready for our last round. Oh, if you thought 4 was hard, I think 5 is harder. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. I'm not a good judge of these. Again, because I might know some books that I think are really big books that might not be so big. All right, let me get your Google form for you. Let's see. Let's put you on so you don't have to stare at me searching around. Here is round 5. If we could get the 5 open, guys. And I'm going to get the link for you here. Get Google Form 5 open. And here is your link if you need it. Yeah, and I see some love for some of the books up there. That's awesome. And round 5. Here, I'll put up the cover so we can get started. Oh, I know this one's hard, isn't it? Remember to put it on the Google form, which I hope is open. Family, do we have that open? And don't use capitalization if you can. For this one, for this cover, I'm looking for the title and the author's last name. I know it's a really hard one, isn't it? We tried to make it, we made them harder as we went along. I'll give you a hint. It is a YA book. It's actually, I picked it because it's the book I'm reading right now. There are 3 in this series. The 3rd one just came out, and I read the first one 2 years ago and the second one last year. But I needed to, I kind of forgot some of the details, and because it's a mystery, I wanted to catch up. So I went and started book 1 again. So this is the cover of that book 1 of this YA mystery series. I'm looking for the title and the author's last name. Title and the author's last name. And I know it's a hard one. It's round 5. I'm trying to weed everybody out here. So this is a hard one. But again, it's a YA mystery, if that helps you at all. Which, it's got kind of a nice, cool, creepy cover here. I love it. Question 2, round 5, the first line. My parents told me that America would be this amazing place where we could live in a house with a dog, do whatever we want, and eat hamburgers till we were red in the face. So far, the only part of that we've achieved is the hamburger part, but I was still holding out hope, and the hamburgers here are pretty good. So this, I'm looking for the title and the author's last name. My parents told me that America would be this amazing place where we could live in a house with a dog, do whatever we want, and eat hamburgers till we were red in the face. So far, the only part of that we've achieved is the hamburger part. But I was still holding out hope, and the hamburgers here are pretty good. So we're looking for the title and the author's last name. This might be one that you're like, oh, I should have known that. I think it's been a very popular book recently. All right, question 3 is your author picture. So another North Carolina author. I'm showing a lot of my North Carolina love here. And she is a 2020 Newbery Award honoree for her debut, you heard that right, debut book, Genesis Begins Again. For anyone to get a Newbery honor is awesome. For a debut, it's like, whoa, that's super amazing. Again, a North Carolina author here, 2020 Newbery honor recipient, and her debut book was Genesis Begins Again. She has been to schools around North Carolina, of course, being a North Carolina person. And she is her debut is award winner. Yes, she has been to Bookmarks. I got to see her at Bookmarks. So I'm going to leave that up there. I see someone says they're having a buffering issue, so I'm hoping if I leave it up long enough, we'll all get caught back up. Sorry about that. Again, technology, great when it works, but when it doesn't work, oh my. So I hate anybody getting knocked out because of technology. All right, next one. Question 4, graphic novel. Another Newbery honor graphic novel. This loose autobiographical account about living with deafness stars a cast of bunnies. I bet a lot of you know this book. I just it's really phrased weirdly here. I kind of copy pasted this from the publisher's website and took out a couple of keywords, so I may have messed it up for you. But it's a graphic novel. I'm looking for the title and the author's full name. She's got a very memorable name, so I want her full name. Another Newbery Honor graphic novel. This loose autobiographical account about living with deafness stars a cast of bunnies. Stars a cast of bunnies. We've got some rankings here. Number 1. Bookaholic Teacher has moved ahead of Sherry by 1 point. Oh my, what's happening? And Books and Dogs 41 and Jamie 41. Oh, we had someone, the P&G have are not in our top ranking. Yes, and this is this author that we're looking for right here was a 2019 Bookmarks Festival author. She was here signing a new book. So that one, I'll give you a couple more seconds on that. Another Newbery Honor graphic novel. This loose autobiographical account about living with deafness stars a cast of bunnies. Question 5. A gorgeous and yummy picture book that tells a whimsical origin story of the phases of the moon. It received a Caldecott Honor in 2019, and the author-illustrator is also a Newbery Honor for a different book, a Theodore Geisel Honor, and a New York Times bestseller. What do they call it in Hollywood? Like an EGOT? Like, this is as close as you can get to an EGOT in the Kidlit world. She's doing it all. This author has also visited Bookmarks. I believe it was 2019. And I got a signed copy of this book and gave it to my nieces. So it's a gorgeous and yummy picture book that tells a whimsical origin story of the phases of the moon. It received a Caldecott Honor in 2019, and the author-illustrator is also a Newbery Honor for a middle grade novel, a Theodore Geisel Honor, and a New York Times bestseller. Like I said, this is EGOT level stuff happening here. In this one, I would like the title and the creator's full name. I mean, she's a rock star. I want the full name. So that's what we're looking for on question number 5. All right. We have a mistake that that we are working on. Thanks for hanging tight on that. Question number 6 coming at you. Question 6. The book was better. This one is really, really hard. I would like to know, Corey, you'll have to let me know how many people get this one right. So, high schooler Greg finds his outlook forever altered after befriending a girl who has just been diagnosed with cancer. This 2015 film won the Sundance Film Festival Grand Jury Prize. Hint, it is not a John Green book. Also, it's not Wimpy Kid. I know it says Greg there, and you might think Wimpy Kid. It's not Wimpy Kid. Here, I would like the 7-word title. There's 7 words in this title, so giving you a clue. And the author's last name. Don't worry, don't put any punctuation in the title. So it's a 7-word title, and I want the author's last name. Here's the clue again. High schooler Greg finds his outlook forever altered after befriending a girl who has just been diagnosed with cancer. This 2015 film won the Sundance Film Festival Grand Jury Prize. Hint, it is not a John Green book. Ooh, someone's saying they knew it. Awesome. Unless they were talking about the last question. But this one's hard. We're trying, again, last round, trying to make things a little bit more challenging. Keep that up there for a second. And they are fixing some scores for us, getting everything caught up. And we're coming up to our last emoji. Oh, no, sorry, I'm off. We have characters first. Oh, this one's hard too. Characters, Trevor, Marcus, and Zoe. Trevor, Marcus, and Zoe. Oh, I've just got a text saying the ranks are wrong. We'll get that fixed. Now let me focus on this question for a second. The characters are Trevor, Marcus, and Zoe. Here is a hint. It's a middle grade contemporary. It's a debut author, and the book just came out in January of 2020. So a brand new book. Feel for those authors trying to promote books in this very strange time we're all experiencing. So we'll give her a shout out. It's an awesome book. But it's the characters are Trevor, Marcus, Zoe. It's contemporary middle grade. The book just came out. I would like the title and the author's last name, please. All right. And your emoji. Here is your emoji question. And this one, it's a middle grade. And we would like the title and the author's last name. Title and author's last name. All right. Book Pusher is now in first with 55. So the scores are changing as they're fixing some of the mistakes. Congratulations, Book Pusher, to moving up in the ranks. And I love your name, Book Pushers. That's awesome. So this is our emoji, our last emoji. We're looking for title and author's last name. Title and author's last name. And on this one, we do have a tiebreaker question. And that is going to be, you got to guess the total number of words in my new novel. This novel comes out in September. And I just want you to guess how many words. I couldn't use the miscalculations of Lightning Girl or the world's ends in April, because you can look those up online if you know how to look at AR reader or AR stats and things. So I'm using something that's not out yet. So you're just going to guess the total number of words. It's a total guess, guys. You're basically picking a number between 1 and 100,000. So it's whoever's closest if we have a tie. It only matters if we have a tie. So get those final answers in. Was this round a killer? Was it super hard? When we were making the questions, we kind of made them randomly and then we ranked them to what we thought was the hardest. But it's just coming from my opinion and my daughter's opinion. So we might, can't represent everybody. So I might have gotten it wrong. Now I'll pop back on here and we will get those answers in. Get your final Google form in. We'll give you about 2 minutes to do that. And then I'll go over the answers. They'll start doing scores. If you can't hang out or you've just had enough, we will email the winners later on. So if we get disconnected, you'll still get your stuff. So I want to encourage you during this time, if you're able to buy books. I know people are scaling back on their purchasing. I sure am. But if you're able to buy books, and books are the best way to entertain, right? Please consider local indies, especially my local indie bookmarks. Check out their website. They'll get books to you. They're doing the drive up that you can pick them up, or they will mail to you if you order $25, which is pretty easy to do. 2 books in there and you're at $25. You get free shipping. So we want to keep those indie bookstores around and support all our local businesses through this. So go ahead and close down the form, Cora. I'm going to bring up your answers, your final answers here. These are our final answers. Kidlit trivia. Here we go. So this hard one that I want to know if anybody got right is Truly Devious by Maureen Johnson. Again, it's 3 books. When I read this one 2 years ago, I was so angry because of the cliffhanger on it. So I'm glad that I get to read them all again. But it is if you like mystery, it's one of the best mysteries. It's a murder taking place at a boarding school. And I have a daughter that goes to a boarding school, or went to a boarding school before this all went down. So it is a good book. The first line, my parents told me that America would be this amazing place where we could live in a house with a dog, do whatever we wanted, and eat hamburgers till we're red in the face, is Front Desk by Kelly Yang. Kelly's a good friend of mine, and I told her, I'm using you in trivia. So this is an excellent book. If you do not know, the sequel is coming out. The second book is coming out in September. It's called 3 Keys. I believe it's the second week in September. Kelly also has a YA novel coming out in May called Parachutes. Now, if you loved Front Desk, Parachutes is not for the same age range, so just be sure that you know that. So Front Desk is followed up by 3 Keys. If you're a YA reader, you can check out Parachutes in May. Oh, if you put The Front Desk, I hope Cora can catch that for you. I think we tried to put The Front Desk and A Front Desk and all those as the answers, but those things can be fixed for sure. They're working away there. All right. This is Alicia Williams. Of course, she wrote Genesis Begins Again, like I mentioned. The other thing I like to mention about Alicia is she has been to Bookmark. She has visited many North Carolina schools. She's a teacher. She teaches art down near Charlotte, and she rescued me. I was at Nerd Camp in Michigan, and my car service didn't show up. The publisher sent a car service. They didn't show up, so I put it out on Twitter. I'm like, who can drive me? And she wrote back, and she's like, hey, I've got a rental car. So she drove me over to Nerd Camp, and we got to spend an hour and 15 minutes chatting. And the day she won the Newbery, I got to send her text too, and just hear about how, over the moon she was, and I was encouraging her to have a celebratory drink on the plane ride on the way home because it's an amazing accomplishment she did right out of the gate. So go, Alicia! Graphic novel. This is another Newbery honor graphic novel, autobiographical about the Deaf Bunnies, and that is El Defo by Cece Bell. As mentioned, she has been a Bookmarks author. She is also a lovely person, and unfortunately I don't have a link, but check out on Twitter. She is doing these daily talks about El Defo where she is showing the pictures, but she's not reading the story. She's telling you like what in the book, what's happening in the book and what happened to her in real life way back in the 1970s with wearing this hearing aid. It is so good. They're about 12 minutes long. She's going chapter by chapter. Check it out. It is so, she was at Nerd Camp also. I'm really enjoying it. She might be one of the funniest humans on the planet. I adore her. Oh, also, I wanted to mention here with graphic novels, you'll notice all the graphic novels I used are award winners. I'm probably preaching to the choir here, but graphic novels are books, so let's just get over that and read them. They're lovely. I will step off my soapbox now. Picture book. A gorgeous and yummy picture book that tells a whimsical origin story of the phases of the moon. That is A Big Mooncake for Little Star by Grace Lynn. So, yeah, she is winning all the things. She is an amazing author, and also one of those that's very supportive of other authors. And I got to meet her at Bookmarks. So that was really neat. And I got the book signed and sent to my nieces. So all these great opportunities to meet these awesome authors. So when we're done going through all this, I look forward to days I can continue to meet authors at Bookmarks. Question 6. The book was better. High schooler Greg finds his outlook forever altered after befriending a girl who has just been diagnosed with cancer. And that is this book, Me and Earl and the Dying Girl. Anyone read this? It's really good. And it is, if you're a fan of John Green, it's the contemporary YA novel, and the movie is actually very good too. Like I said, it won at Sundance, so it's a well-done movie. No huge stars in it, but still a really good one that I enjoyed. Maybe I'll reread that one too. All right, characters. Trevor, Marcus, and Zoe. This is From the Desk of Zoe Washington by Janae Marks. This is a debut. I believe it's an IndieBound #1 pick. It's at least in the top 10 of the IndieBound picks. It stars Zoe Washington. It's her birthday, and she gets a letter from her biological dad who's in prison on murder charges. She's never had a connection with him, and she starts this letter writing. And it's very, it's just a great book about family and understanding, and it's just, there's so many good things in there. I just finished it maybe last week, so I would highly recommend getting your hands on this one too. And our final emoji one. I'm getting text here too. The final emoji one is The Stars Beneath Our Feet. Was that a hard one or an easy one? Oh, I've heard we have a tiebreaker going on, so we are going to use that tiebreaker question. The Stars Beneath Our Feet by David Barclay Moore. This is a book about grief, a brother dealing with the grief from his older brother's death. Another Bookmarks author. Actually, I was on a panel with him. So I loved being on a panel with David. It's one of the kind of highlights of my career. It's an awesome book. So check that one out if you're looking for some new titles. All right. So the tiebreaker question, the answer to the tiebreaker was 58,163 words. That's how many are going to be here. So I am getting some word from my family. Hold on a second. How are we going to am I allowed to say who the tie is between? Where I'm getting some word from the family. We're trying to figure out. Try to figure out. And sorry, guys, hang on, hang tight. So I'm opening the sheets.
Here's the top three. We have to use the tiebreaker.
This one. I'm clicking a file. And the family's walking me through this. Hang tight, guys. I'm going to my pivot table. And, all right.
So who won? Book?
So the tie is between Bookaholic Teacher and Book Pusher. Hold on a second here. We are going to, let's see. This is going to make you sick for 1 second. Let's see if I can do this. Here's my screen. Here is our scores. You can see they've been keeping track of the scores here, and our top scores at 64 are Bookaholic Teacher and Book Pusher. Let me go back and back to me. You can see I've been joined by a dog. And are we still with me? Sorry, I know I'm clicking all over the place. Hopefully I'm not making anyone sick. So the winner is who was closest to the tiebreaker. Is that the winner?
Yeah.
The one there. So our winner is, I've just been given the form, is Bookaholic Teachers, or Teacher. And number 2 is Book Pusher, and then Sherry is number 3. So that is 1, 2, and 3. Bookaholic Teacher, yay! Round of applause, round of applause. And a Book Pusher came in second, and Sherry Sawyer. Bookmarks is going to contact you about getting addresses and getting books out to you. Do we have any more other random winners?
I can do more. I'm going to go do more for fun.
So,
I like that.
Give me one more random winner. Our other random winner is Crazy Daisy, the Bryan Clan, and Southern Border. I will reach out to them. We're going to get one more winner here from someone who played in round 5. Please, Cora. Someone asked the dog's name. That was Reika. That was running through the German Shepherd. I also have Jack and Munchkin who aren't here. So that's about it. We're getting one more random winner for you. We'll reach out. Thank you guys for listening and playing along. If you have comments, suggestions, I'd love to hear them. I don't know if we'll do something like this again. Team Hall, H-A-L-L?
Yes.
Team Hall is my other random winner, I've just been told. Team Hall. So those are the ones that I am going to send books to. I will contact you later on so I can get some addresses and hopefully get those books out this week. Any final questions before we say goodbye? Any questions? Or we can start logging off. Bye, guys. Thanks for playing along. This wasn't too terrible from my end. Things didn't go down. I had a rough start, but things weren't too terrible.
Thanks, Cora.
Bye, guys.
Shout out me.
Bye. Thanks, Cora. She's over there. If Cora comes on the screen, I marked this as no children, so you guys could do comments, and they think she's a child, though she's 18, so YouTube shuts it down. It's weird. Like, if my kids walk behind me, it says, no, you're using kids for a no kids thing, so I've got to keep them in the hallway. They can't be seen, so anyway, thanks, guys. And if you don't mind hitting a subscribe or a like or whatever, I'm not really a YouTube star. I don't know what to ask for. Henry would be much better at this. Like and comment. Share with your friends. I'm kidding. I'm just saying things my kids are telling me.
Did you turn it
It's down to 20. I don't want to like hang up on anybody. I want people to say goodbye. not say goodbye, but I want people to log off. I don't feel like I want to hang up on anyone because then it feels mean. All right. This is it. I am saying one last goodbye. Yes. Oh, someone asked for me to put all these different books. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll put it maybe on my website or Twitter. I'll put it in my different social media so you guys can see these kind of. Some of them turned into book recommendations, didn't they? So